Hey YouTube, still keeping one here. This video is going to be a little different. I wanted to talk a little bit about investments versus debt. And for this one in particular, silver and gold stacking versus credit card debt. And this video isn't going to be for everyone. And as usual, I'm not a financial advisor. Take my opinion as well as the opinions of everyone else with a grain of salt, if you will. What I wanted to talk about was we have a small community, but there are a lot of stackers out there, or people that call themselves stackers or investors or flippers or however you want to say it. But one thing that isn't talked about that much is having your stack make money for you, or having it hold your wealth or hedge your wealth against inflation. But before I get into that, I want to talk a little bit about credit cards. As you can see here, I got a few credit cards here. There's a right way to have credit card debt, and then there's a wrong way. And some people are doing it right, and some people aren't. And I know it's very easy for people to say, yeah, pay off your credit card debt, or do this or do that, and I'm aware that there is no one-size-fits-all solution, so that doesn't really help anyone. But one thing is interest. Some people use credit cards and they have cash back, or they have a period where they don't have to pay interest, or something along those lines that makes it more useful. But many people don't. Many people are paying the minimum payments and they're paying the interest charges. And a lot of people, and this is not for any particular amount of debt at all. You know, it could be $100 of debt, or it could be $100,000. But if you are paying interest on those credit card payments, you should not be stacking. And the reason I say that is because there are various reasons to stack, and most of them involve holding some type of value or making some type of money. And if you are paying interest on your credit card payments, you are not going to make the money you think you are stacking. Because for one, it's going to go to interest. Any gain you realize will be gone to interest. That is an investment that most people don't see. Actually paying your credit card debt, or getting your debt to a place where there's no interest, is an investment, because it increases your purchasing power in the future, and it opens up your income for other reasons, for other investments. And you won't see that if you're paying interest. And there's ways to consolidate. A lot of people, and I understand a lot of people need credit cards too. And if you're at that point, consolidation may be a good idea. But until you have disciplined yourself to the point to where you're using credit cards and paying it off the correct way, or the best way for your financial health, stacking really shouldn't be an option, because you'll actually gain more money increasing that minimum payment by $20 than buying a Silver Eagle with it. And that is for the future. You're going to see gains immediately that you won't see with precious metals unless there's some huge market change, which doesn't happen that often. And precious metals for most people is a long-term investment, just like paying off your credit card debt is a long-term investment for yourself. So hope I'm not boring anyone too much, but until you have everything in line, in order, I think, in my opinion, you should hold off on stacking. And this is just one type of debt that I've touched on here, and one type of investment. You're not always going to agree with me, of course. and that's a good thing. But there is a way out. Don't think that you're trapped forever. There's always a way out of debt, one way or another. And take little steps if that's necessary. You know, your debt is not gonna be gone overnight, you know, all of a sudden. It's not gonna happen that way. But if you start on the right path and you make the right decisions and you inform yourself and educate yourself, you can get out of debt. It's possible. You know, it happens all the time. And you can start by not going more into debt if possible. Look at your options. What you're using a credit card for, is it really necessary? And there's also some people that aren't even using credit cards anymore. They're just working on that debt. And that's something that happens too. But if you work hard, it's a new year. It's 2015. If you work hard, if you educate yourself, if you talk to the companies you owe money to, because they want you to pay them. If they make the terms so bad that you're not going to pay, that doesn't benefit anyone. It doesn't benefit them because you're not going to pay, and it doesn't benefit you because you want to have good credit. You want to buy a house. You want to buy a car. You want the ability to purchase something that you want, even if you don't purchase it. You just want to have that ability. And that's okay. You can have excellent credit without using credit. But I know that most people that are watching these videos want to have a house. They want to own a house and they want it to be paid off. And they want to own it without paying exorbitant interest. And it all goes in line. And one thing, I heard a commercial today on the radio. It was for a car dealership that finances its customers itself, has its own bank. And at the end, the guy said, you know, who has, you know, we'll finance anyone, you know, your job is your credit and this and that. And who has good credit these days anyway? And when I heard that, you know, that was just, I just thought that was terrible. Because for one, it's slightly true, but also some people seem to have given up because they can't see an end, or they think it's too much, but you can always work on your credit. You can always better your credit. And this is something that we all should work on this year. And that's building our wealth, maximizing our profit potential, and getting out of debt if you have debt. Some of you do, some of you don't. So let's do that, and let's get to the point, and I've said this many times, let's get to the point to where our money is working for us instead of us working for our money. So if you're still watching this, thank you for watching the whole way through, and get out of debt and keep stacking. Thanks a lot, YouTube.